Welcome to Hidden US. This is episode 14. The Lizzie Borden House, America's most haunting, unsolved mystery. To anyone passing through Fall River, Massachusetts, the house at 92 2nd Street looks completely ordinary. But behind its simple wooden frame lies one of America's most enduring and brutal mysteries. On the morning of August 4th, 1892, the world first heard the name Lizzie Borden. She was a quiet young woman from a respectable family. But by noon that day, her father and stepmother were found dead inside the house, killed with an axe in a crime that horrified the nation. What makes this story so fascinating isn't just the violence, it's the eerie atmosphere of the house itself, the botched investigation, and the fact that no one was ever convicted. The Lizzie Borden House has since become one of America's most mysterious landmarks, a place where history, legend, and something darker all seem to converge. Today, visitors walk the same halls, stand in the same rooms, and feel the same chilling silence that investigators felt over a century ago. As we look deeper, we find that the truth behind the Borden murders isn't just about guilt or innocence. It's about the strange way history holds its breath inside this small, quiet house. When police arrived on that sweltering August day, the scene they found was bizarrely calm. Andrew Borden lay on the sitting room couch, his face nearly destroyed by repeated blows. Upstairs, in the guest bedroom, his wife Abby was found on the floor, struck from behind with the same brutal precision. There were no signs of a break-in, no weapon was recovered at the scene, and no footprints led in or out. The crime seemed impossible. How could two murders be committed in broad daylight, inside a small home with several people present? The police quickly zeroed in on Lizzie, not because of hard evidence, but because the alternative felt unthinkable. How could an outsider slip in, kill two people, and vanish without being seen or heard? Yet Lizzie herself seemed eerily calm, almost detached. Her explanations shifted subtly with each telling, as if her memories were rearranging themselves, moment by moment. The investigation was a disaster from the start. Evidence was contaminated. Searches were delayed, and modern forensic science didn't exist. The more the police looked, the less certain they became. As the trial unfolded, the public was torn. Was Lizzie a cold, calculating mastermind, or was she just a victim of circumstance and suspicion? Faced with a case built more on guesswork than solid proof, the jury found her not guilty. But the verdict didn't end. The story had only deepened the mystery. Over the generations, the Borden House developed a reputation that goes far beyond true crime. Visitors, historians, and paranormal researchers have all reported the same strange sensations. Cold spots, unexplained footsteps, doors opening slowly on their own, and a feeling of a presence lingering just at the edge of your vision. The house itself seems to hold its breath, as if the events of that day never truly left. People who stay overnight describe hearing soft movements upstairs, or the faint creak of the old staircase when no one is near it. Some have claimed to see shadows crossing the doorway of the guest room, right where Abby Borden was found. Others report a heavy feeling of being watched in the sitting room, the exact spot where Andrew took his final breath. The house has become a museum of echoes. Each room is a preserved snapshot of 1892, with furniture sitting exactly where it was when the murders occurred. It creates a surreal feeling, as if time has folded in on itself. Whether these feelings are paranormal or purely psychological, the effect is undeniable. The house feels alive with unanswered questions. The mystery gets even deeper when you look at the Borden family itself. Tensions had been simmering for years. There were disputes over money, concerns about inheritance, and a strained relationship between Lizzie and her stepmother. The quiet, respectable home hid a complex web of resentment and frustration. Some historians argued that the murders were a breaking point in a household held under Andrew Borden's strict and frugal control. Others believe an outsider could have been responsible, maybe someone connected to Andrew's sometimes ruthless business dealings. There are even theories suggesting the lack of evidence points to a carefully planned act, carried out by someone who knew the house inside and out. Over the years, theories have evolved, fractured, and multiplied, but not a single one fits all the facts perfectly. The Borden murders remain a puzzle with missing pieces, some lost to time, others sealed away forever with the people who lived in that house. As the decades passed, the house became a landmark of American folklore. True crime enthusiasts travel from all over the world to stand in the rooms where it all happened, hoping to feel some connection, some explanation for what took place. The staff who worked there describe experiences that defy simple logic: footsteps pacing in empty rooms, soft sighs from unseen sources, and distant whispers that stop the moment you turn to listen. The house doesn't act like a typical haunted location. It's subtle, quiet, almost thoughtful. Some visitors report having incredibly vivid dreams after staying the night. Dreams where fragments of the crime play out from strange, unfamiliar perspectives. Others describe sudden, overwhelming waves of emotion: sadness, fear, or a deep unease that vanish the second they step back outside. Whether these experiences come from the energy of the house or the power of suggestion, the effect is the same. The Borden house leaves its mark on you. The enduring fascination with Lizzie Borden isn't just about the violence, it's about the ambiguity. The case sits at a crossroads of American history, gender roles, and public perception. In 1892, the very idea that a well-bred woman could commit such a savage act was unthinkable. It challenged everything society believed, and that disbelief heavily influenced the investigation. Lizzie's quiet composure became part of the mystery itself. Was it the calm of an innocent person in shock, or the cold deliberation of a killer? Newspapers of the time sensationalized the story, turning it into one of the earliest modern media spectacles. The public split into camps, each side interpreting Lizzie's character through their own biases. Even today, her legacy is debated. Some see her as a misunderstood figure, trapped in a storm of speculation. Others view her as an unsolved enigma, a woman who took her secrets to the grave. But the house itself seems to hold its own opinion, preserving the atmosphere of a story that refuses to find closure. Walking through the house today feels less like entering a crime scene and more like stepping into a moment paused in time. The wallpaper, the furniture, and the layout are all preserved with unsettling accuracy, mirroring how they were in 1892. Visitors often describe a powerful sense of being watched, not by ghosts, but by the sheer weight of unresolved truth. The narrow hallways, low ceilings, and creaking floors create a feeling that you are constantly being followed by the echoes of that terrible morning. Even the guides speak in soft tones, as if out of respect for the house itself, or perhaps because it feels like the house is listening. Even the skeptics admit that there's something about the environment that feels unusually charged, as if a powerful emotional residue still clings to the walls. The house doesn't give up its secrets. It simply invites you to contemplate them. In the end, the Lizzie Borden house represents something much deeper than a single, unsolved crime. It's a symbol of unresolved history, a place where questions linger like shadows in old wallpaper. It reminds us that sometimes the truth isn't buried by malice, but by the limitations of time and understanding. The case remains officially unsolved, a rare status that allows our own imaginations to try and fill in the gaps. And as long as that house stands on 2nd Street, the story will continue to evolve, not through new evidence, but through the quiet, persistent influence of a place that refuses to be forgotten. Whether the presence felt inside its walls is memory, energy, or imagination, the effect is undeniably powerful. The house taps into our deep fascination with mystery, the desire to explain the unexplainable, to confront the unknown, and to finally understand what really happened on that quiet morning so long ago. Thanks for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as we do, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Hidden US for more journeys into America's most mysterious places.